Good evening, everyone. This is a follow-up on the video that I posted, obviously entitled Urgent Message of Coming Danger. So, ironically, Miss Linda Moulton Howe, um, apparently the summary of what she has concluded, based on, her, 20 some years of research, has been this video. And for those of you who watch, she walks you through from the beginning of the cover up and the conspiracy to what the conclusion is and to what this means. And like I was saying, ironically enough, everything that I told her that I seen in my visions is what her conclusion is. So um, I'm kind of, I don't understand the reaction that that she had, considering this is what she's saying. So the point of all this is that there's this basically extraterrestrial threat that we need to be worried about, and that everybody is um, basically from Stephen Hawking to Elon Musk, all these people are saying for us to stop sending signals into outer space because it's dangerous, and somebody's gonna pick it up. And I'm gonna play this little segment right here, real quickly. And
he's in another part of the world now. He's very dangerous. I saw him and his family about 5 months ago. Hopefully he will make it back in one piece, and we will continue because I'm going to tell what we're going into is still happening to him today. And Sergeant CJ had a very vivid dream also. And he knows that he had the dream at some point before he became conscious, standing like this in the bathroom door. And in the dream, light gray alien beings wearing dark lenses over eyes, similar to but larger than human eyes, are warning about a threat to Earth. Have you seen the symbols in sleep or in your mind's eye?
Usually in my sleep, and that first time that it happened was at that hotel. I do not remember getting out of bed and walking into the bathroom with a pendant in my hotel room sheet and doing that. I literally woke up standing there after I had finished.
Have the symbols been repeated in addition to the script?
No.
Did you get
Don't have the answer to that.
that we did not even know existed, close quote. The website states, without giving information sources, quote, very little is known about the 5 alien races, J's, squares, and ones. And here is the first page so you can get a look at how people do this. And it shows the numbers that are creating each of continue us protection of humanity, what appears to be a latitude longitude, expose hidden knowledge to all citizens, advancement, imperative for planetary survival, beware of Orion 1350.3 and Z Reticuli 39.1 ?70. Avoid signal messages sent. And here is the whole translation for all the squares and lines Sergeant CJ wrote on the back of his Motel 6 letter-size receipt in Paducah, Kentucky. Continuous protection of humanity, a latitude, longitude, we'll get into in a minute.
Okay, so you get the point. I mean, I had the exact same experience, except I didn't see little gray men. The people that I seen looked Chinese, and they didn't look like aliens at all, because they're not aliens. I mean, in all actuality, but that's irrelevant. Um, and they're talking about here how it's beware of Orion's belt. You know, it's funny that in Men in Black, that's the exact same. And I just watched Men in Black. It was on TV like a month ago. Me and my wife watched it, and the whole thing was this cat that had this belt around its neck, Orion's belt, and you know, these aliens that were coming from Orion to try to get this belt to basically, you know, destroy the Earth and all this other stuff to get this belt and all this crazy stuff, and you know, the aliens working for the government and da 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 da. Well, it's all true. Like it's all real. And it's just funny how, you know, the predictive programming and the shit that they put out in TV and movies. But regardless, it talks about this race that we need to watch out for. And this race just so happens to be dark skinned with big bellies. And, you know, like I said, during the point when this collapse happens with our magnetic shield, and the reversal takes place when our memories go, when our consciousness goes, and you know, the 3 days of darkness take place. This is basically you know, when the invasion is going to take place, because there's not going to be any resistance. We're not going to be able to resist. The only people that are going to be left are the people like, you know, myself and those of you that understand what I'm speaking of. As I said in the vision, they were going around with this device that peculiarly enough, looked exactly like the instrument that Men in Black used when they would, you know, memory wipe somebody. Wow, I never even really associated that, but that's what the instrument looked like. And they were going around to each person, and you know, asking them some type of telepathic question, just like the doctor hits you in the knee to get a response to check your reflexes. They were asking a telepathic question to every single person in the same manner to trigger a response, a reflex. And if they got a response, a reflex out of the person, they knew that they hadn't been wiped, and you know, whatever, something was done with them. As they came down the line, I knew that I needed to respond like everybody else, or else they would detect me. So, you know, I almost responded reflexively when they did this telepathic thing, but I didn't. You know, I instantly caught myself and acted like the rest of the zombies, and they moved over me. So, you know, this is what's coming. Now, there's so many more things that go with this, but I mean, ultimately, you know, I don't really give a shit who thinks I'm crazy, who thinks, you know, I'm sure there's people that listen that can laugh all you want, because you're gonna be the prey. So, you know, it is what it is. But you know, for those of you that take this seriously and you know, honestly are seekers of the truth, I mean, like I've said multiple times, what do you think the most important information that the government has is? What do you think the most top secret classified stuff is? You know, more weapons? No, it's our space fleet. It's us, you know, fighting off these races of beings that aren't good. There's a video here I want to show you that was actually on Rex's channel with Lynn Buchannon. And Lynn talks about how he was charged with classifying, you know, the ETs into 4 different groups. Now, Lynn was one of the ones that started the whole PSYOP program in the government with Ingo Swann. You know, the one book I posted a couple months back was Ingo. And there's another one whom I happen to speak with. I'm not going, well, he needs the promotion anyway. His name is Kevin Baird. So, whom I happen to be personal friends with. This movie Men Who Stare at Goats was made after these men in this program, in this unit. Okay, so let me just type this in real quick. The Project Lynn Buchanan. All right. Now this is Lynn. Lynn is a military remote viewer. He is one of the,
Oh, look at this little
one of
girl's
the
design.
greatest
It's terrible.
psychic spies that have ever
I would like
lived.
to recommend our listeners go to
for anyone. They surprise themselves. They do pretty well at it.
Now, your website, crviewer.com, if they're not going to be able to even see or sense that, because most people think that everybody has the ability to counteract anything. There's a reaction to everything. So,
your power in the universe as soon as we get out into the universe. And that's why the friendly ones want us to develop it. It's also why the unfriendly ones don't want us to develop it, and in fact want us dead, because there's a chance we will.
let me add to that if I can, Lynn,
Okay,
because
so-
you brought up something that's really powerful.
The unfriendly psychic ones will main categories. We've got
Here it is.
compare and contrast ET psychic ability to human psychic ability. And
Up on it, yet when they've done it with certain types of extraterrestrials, certain ETs can pick up on it, and then some can't. So I'm wondering if there's a certain
That's
part
true.
of the mind or whatever that allows, this extra chromosome or DNA strand or something. It's interesting.
not the human mind, but when you're talking about ETs,
Yeah.
that can be different. I'll just go into this. After the military, I was asked by a branch of the government to do a study paper on to compare and contrast ET psychic ability to human psychic ability. And remember, that was the main feature of it, okay? The study that I did was because I was given access to many of the things that never made it into Project Grudge or the Blue Book or anything like that, because they couldn't be denied. And so anyway, in studying these, I found out that we can take the ETs of all different kinds and species and all that and put them into four main categories. We've got those who are more psychic than us and those who are less psychic than us. In each of those two categories, we've got friendly to us and unfriendly to us. The unfriendly, non-psychic ones tend to not come here. They don't like us. They don't want us. They don't want to be around us. The non-psychic friendly ones come here for trade. The psychic friendly ones actually want to help us develop our abilities and become stronger at it. And the unfriendly psychic ones want us wiped off the planet. They want us dead, period. No questions asked.
Dead.
I couldn't figure out on those last two categories
Or slaves.
why. And so I kept reading, I kept delving into these things, and one day I figured out why. It was the one thing that keyed it off was that this UFO came up over this group of campers, and as they watched it come, and they were talking back and forth to each other, and as soon as it got over them, they froze. They went through an abduction experience and all that. And then it dawned on me. The ETs may be stronger psychically than we are, but they don't have any range. And as far as humans, we can see across the universe and space and time as easily as we can see across the room. And if we develop that, we will become a major power in the universe as soon as we get out into the universe. And that's why the friendly ones want us to develop it. It's also why the unfriendly ones don't want us to develop it, and in fact want us dead, because there's a chance we will.
Let me add to that, if I can, Lynn, because you brought up something that's really
Profound.
powerful and really kind of hits home at many levels. I see things around me that are so disturbing, such as healthcare, in my opinion, for the most part now,
Yeah.
can be death care. You know, you look at many things put in the food supplies, the water supplies, and just the whole system in general seems to kind of feed this dark ecstasy program, not really helping others. And I wonder, is it because whoever is at the very top levels knows our true abilities, so they're trying to like keep us docile by putting more fluoride in the water, keeping the truth from us,
Absolutely,
and giving us all
Rex.
these false carrots at the end of the stick to kind of get people on these paths that don't really matter, keep people engulfed in Dancing with the Stars and Kim Kardashian? Or is that because that's what most people want, so they just give people what they want? They fill their cup to the brim and say, there you go, drink your stupidity.
I think the last is the method for doing it, but the first thing that you said, I have no proof of that, but I firmly believe it. Yeah.
Okay.
Just a personal belief.
Now, Lynn, as I said, is one of the foundations in our psychic program in the government. Now, go check out this video. It's from last year. Confirm multiple ET bases on Earth. Stargate program declassified. Now, there's a lot of stuff that he really couldn't talk about because he's still, it's still classified. But there's a lot of stuff that he can, and he does, and he goes out on a limb. But the thing is, as it was his job to classify them and to put them in these different categories. And as he said, the psychic friendly ones want us to develop this. They want us to be able to use this for, the benefit of us and others. Because we're all connected, we're all related, and, as we prosper and benefit, so will other nations. Because if we're out there trying to destroy them, we're not doing anything but being a pain in the ass. Then the psychic non-friendly ones want us dead, he said. Or they either want us dead or slaves. And this is basically the moral of what I've been shown. Okay, because, whether you believe it or not, I have been contacted, and as crazy as it is, it's for me to fathom even saying it. I mean, it is what it is. I didn't just imagine all these things. Like I said, this race of beings, these people, looked Chinese, and they showed me, they showed me the evolution of a soul. They showed me where we come from. They showed me what we're heading towards. They showed me everything that's relevant that I needed to know, and they showed me of this pending war, and they showed me these events that are coming, this comet, all these events that I've talked about in all these videos. And you can either choose to believe it or choose to think it's bullshit and just click end right now, because it doesn't matter to me whether you believe this or not. Just I'm going out of my way to try to help people and to tell this story. It really doesn't matter to me who gets it, because eventually when the proof is in front of your eyes and there's no denying it, you're going to be like, shit, I wish I was preparing for this. So ultimately, it comes down to, we're in the time period, we're in the transition period. As I've stated, I've seen these events occurring from July to December. That's the time period I gave. Now, I didn't know about this eclipse on the 21st. It's in a couple days here. At the beginning of the year, I just didn't know about it. And if you've been following along, I talked about this eclipse vision all the way up until I found out about the eclipse. So, for me, that's like, holy shit, because I, on everything I love, honestly did not know that there was this eclipse coming up on the 21st. Not only did I not know that, but the alignments that take place with the 12 crowns, or the 12 stars, the crown of 12 stars on Virgo's head with, with Venus coming through the womb, and all these different things that it talks about in the Bible. This is a significant event. This isn't just your regular run-of-the-mill eclipse. And there's a lot of stuff that is on the brink of happening at the same time. So we have all this stuff that's happening with North Korea and Trump, and just everything that's happening worldwide. Now, I had this other set of visions just recently. I'm doing another video on them. It's almost done. I was going to release that before this one, but I figured I needed to follow up on this instead of just leaving it hanging and then coming back. So I know I haven't posted in a while. I just have been busy, and there's a lot of things that I've been trying to basically divine the answers on, and I have. And the next video is I got some pretty shocking things I'm going to be talking about. But ultimately, these two little clips that I showed you are just little things to verify. These are people that live that life, that know. These are the people that know about these things. And this man right here you can go on the CIA website and look at all the declassified documents from this man's work in the military. I mean, this isn't a hoax, this isn't a scam. You can go on CIA.gov and go to their dockets page where they have all of their released archive of information, and you can look up his classified documents that have been declassified on all the different sessions that he's done, and all the work and all the information and the great service that he has provided to this country's government and armed service. So you just heard it from Lynn Buchannon. There isn't just one race. There isn't just little gray guys running around. There's little green guys running around, little blue guys. There's a multitude of races, and not only is there different races, but there's interdimensionals, there's time travelers, there's a whole multitude of things going on right now that people just it's so far out of what you've been conditioned to think that it's just hard for people to believe. But wake up, because it's never been more relevant than now. So I'm going to start trying to focus my videos. Rather than just beating a dead horse, I'm going to try. It's funny that I said horse. Wait till you hear the next video. But anyway, rather than beating a dead horse, I'm going to try to start focusing my videos on things that my followers can do right now to start honing in on these abilities. I've got the book published, How to Be Psychic, the Logos. It's on Amazon, it's on Shopify, it's on what the hell is it? Kindle books or whatever. It's on a couple different things. I'm gonna leave the links below. That's I put a lot of time into that. That's a step-by-step guide to what you can do today to start developing these abilities. I'm going to work through my videos with you guys as well on things that can be applied today, and the process, and how to go about doing it. As I've said in other videos, I've struggled with myself about just giving this book away for free and giving it to everybody because everybody deserves it. It's it's our God-given power. It's just been hidden. But as a few of you know, I got broken legs, I got this going on, I got that going on. So the money does help, and let's face it, that's what the world is run on. So it is what it is. So the links will be below for that. I just wanted to, like I said, wrap up what I had posted in these last two videos. This is real. This is what's going on. So I'm going to cut this one right here and try to finish up this video that I've got posted of all the current events and all the things that are going on now. So click on the next video. Stay vigilant. Stay tuned.